the Foul-Mouthed Aussie, and you're listening to that wrestling podcast, and it fucking sucks! Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. It's Monday, it's money, it's Clyde, and we're going to talk a little wrestling, baby. You ready, brother?
I am ready, brother. I'm feeling a little unleashed today, if you know what I'm saying. I'm feeling kind of good, brother.
A little bit unhinged and unleashed. I love it, brother. How you doing today, man?
Man, couldn't be better, man. Sitting back having some margaritas, talking to some ladies here on the beach side. You know how it is.
Everything,
brother.
yeah, perfect, man. I know you left the Bunny Ranch. You headed down. I think where are you at now? You're in.
I'm out here in Myrtle Beach, brother. Out here playing some golf.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I thought you was gonna shoot down to Mexico there for a while. I didn't know. I thought you was in Acapulco, brother. Man, you move so quick, brother. It's hard to keep up with you.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna hit Mexico next, brother.
All right, well, we got a lot to hop into today, man. I appreciate you taking a moment away from the golf and the beach to join us on the show, brother. Evidently, an NXT ref was injured. Chris Jericho teased the AEW television deal. Dean Malenko booked for StarCast 2. What? A former WWE star is preparing for a can't-miss MMA fight. Kurt Angle shared his thoughts on who he thinks the GOAT is. And also, I think the matches have been leaked, the match cards for both women's and men's Money in the Bank ladder matches. So, lots to get into today, brother. We're going to play a little random wrestling knowledge with Clyde. Might even have a special caller on the show. You ready to hop into all this?
Let's hop in, brother.
Hey, but before we do, why don't you be so kind as to tell the people, the audience, baby, what's going to happen if this show, this channel, this podcast is lucky enough to hit 1K subscribers?
We're going to get Dave. We're going to get him in a sleek Elvis suit, and I'm getting wore out with a guitar. No headshots, as I've always said. Please, no headshots.
No shots to the brain, brother. Yeah, no problem on that, man. Won't be no shots to the brain. But speaking of shots, man, and people getting injured, dude, did you see the NXT referee Tom Castor over the weekend?
Yeah, I did, man, and unbelievable. The guy even, finished the deal and made the 3 count. Just amazing. This guy deserves some kind of award, brother.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the injury is tragic. It looked like he suffered like a compound leg fracture, and yeah, man, he toughed it out. Even went ahead and, like you said, gave the 3 count. And I heard on his way out of the ring, he was telling one of his friends, he said, "I love this job," or "I love this business," or something. Even with his broken leg, man, Tom Castor, what a hell of a guy, dude. Tough dude, and true compliment to the wrestling business. Get well soon, brother.
Yeah, that's that, man. Get well.
Yeah, I thought that was just crazy, man. Yeah, just seeing that happen and seeing how tough and resilient the guy is. And speaking of somebody being tough and resilient, man, the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko, dude, is evidently booked for StarCast 2. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. If he's booked for StarCast, he's probably AEW bound also, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think, what's he going to join? Arn Anderson? They're getting the band back together over there, brother.
Throw them 4 fingers up, baby.
Yeah, fresh off his exit from WWE wrestling great Dean Malenko has been added to the StarCast 2 event Memorial Day weekend in Las Vegas. StarCast recently confirmed the booking of the man of 1,000 holds via Twitter, and they got a nice little write-up and a little picture there with Dean Malenko on it. Yeah, brother, so it's official, man. Dean Malenko at StarCast 2, brother.
One of the most underrated. If we ever do an episode, and we should, on underrated, I think Dean's one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. I really enjoyed his work.
I think so, too. You know what? I would just put him at more, not underrated, but maybe underappreciated.
Yeah, sure. That is a better word, because, I mean, his skills, when we call him the man of 1,000 holds, so he probably really does know 1,000, I would bet.
Yeah, and I was reading recently, like, his presence is going to be missed, I think, backstage. He's helped a lot with the with some of the more, like, technical wrestling, on the roster,
Yeah, unbelievably skilled. One of my favorites from the old WCW days.
And speaking of favorites from the old WCW days, brother, one of my favorites from the old WCW days, Chris Jericho recently teased that AEW's television announcement is coming very soon. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. And, man, it would be nice if it was like, it's today. Tonight.
It's starting tonight.
It's starting tonight at 8 o'clock. Oh my!
Be like no
that
notice.
That would blow the internet up, probably.
Yeah, it'd be like no notice whatsoever. It's coming. It's rolling out right now.
Oh, that would be some lovely stuff right there.
That really might break the internet, dude. I don't know, man. That really might.
I think it actually would, man. I really believe that. If they was to announce that they're going tonight, wow.
Yeah, talk about trending on Twitter, on Twitter, number one, dude. I think that would take the top spot, brother. Yeah, but Jericho recently sat down with the Cheddar.com for a short interview where he revealed that AEW would be announcing a huge TV deal very soon. So there's a lot of buzz about AEW, and in the fall we're going to be starting our weekly television on a huge cable company that we're going to be announcing very soon. So it's not a competition. It's just an alternative, and it's something that I think people and wrestling fans are waiting for because it's been a long time with just the WWE with just one company. And I think if anyone, brother, it'd be you that can understand and relate to an alternative, man. You got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to go and have a fresh start, you know. The company you might have been with before, you're going to miss people, but sometimes you need that fresh start in a new place, man, to get your creative juices flowing a little better.
Yeah, so are you excited about the unleashing of this TV deal, man? And do you think that at some point they're actually going to be able to compete, like like right now, you know, it's like not even a comparison, I don't think. Like AEW is just nowhere near WWE stratosphere, but I mean they could jump right into it so quickly with this television deal. And do you think that they're going to have like a ratings war, or do you see that coming, brother?
Yes, I really do. I can see it starting that first night. I don't think they'll win the first night, but I think they're going to chip at it, man. And I keep having this vision that first show they do is going to end the night with CM Punk. If they do that, it'll put it over the top immediately.
Oh my goodness, wouldn't it, dude? Yeah, I absolutely totally agree with that. If they was able to bring Punk out on that, yeah, they would. And I was reading like a debate recently where people was saying, you know, what is AEW already bigger than Impact and Ring of Honor? And I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, considering they haven't even really had an official show. Do you think they're bigger? And I'm kind of going to say they are, dude. And I hate to. That's not a jab at ROH or Impact. I just kind of think they have the buzz and the backing to kind of say that they officially are a little bigger than them already. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, with the finances this company's got and the buzz, and you got the Bucks, you got Jericho, you got Omega, you got all these guys. And, you know, anytime we hear something about somebody leaving from WWE, you automatically think it's already got that feel of the Monday Night Wars. Of course, it's going to be a Tuesday Night Wars, I believe, to start out. So, yeah, I agree with you, man. I think they are already, without even having their first official, you know, television deal. I think they already are larger than those other companies.
Yeah, and that's not a shot to either one of those companies. I actually love Ring of Honor. I'm a huge fan of all the talent that's come through there over the years. And Impact, I've watched on and off a little bit, though. But it's kind of always good to check up on, you know, like I look at Impact almost like a lot of times, like, let me see what the former WWE stars are up to today. That's how I used to look at it, at least. Maybe not so much anymore, but, you know, it's kind of like
yeah.
I looked at it like the senior PGA Tour for the WWE for a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there for a while. Anybody that had WWE on their resume was definitely going to get an offer from Impact. But I think it hindered them a little bit, man. Look at all the stars that were kind of created in TNA. Where are they at now? They're all in the WWE.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Sometimes it might be better for these companies to learn, and I think that's what. You know, I know we're kind of getting off topic here. We got to take a commercial break here in just a second, but I kind of think that's what AEW is like. Kind of like they're trying to learn a lesson from like the mistakes that maybe Impact made in the past. Like they're trying to blend like you know, some quality WWE veterans who can actually go in the ring with some young and upcoming stars like Sammy Guevara and like some of these younger guys they've signed, and they're going to unveil some new like fresh faces. Not to steal Cody's word there, but that's what they're trying to do. You know, make it blend in some talents, get that rub with the veterans onto these younger guys. You know, use that rub effect and make these younger guys some stars, brother.
Yeah, it's an exciting time in wrestling, brother.
Yeah, well said, brother. Speaking of an exciting time, dude, we've got an exciting show planned for the rest of the show, dude. It's going to be a very fun, exciting show the rest of the day, brother. But we've got to step out, pay a few bills real quick, and we'll be right back after these commercial messages. The following is a paid advertisement. That wrestling podcast is not responsible for any claims, guarantees, or products in this ad. Hey ladies out there, you having trouble getting somebody to pay you a few dollars? Well, contact Paulie and Paul's Intervention, Mediation, and Protection Services today. Intervention.
You need us to intervene, smack a couple guys around? No problem.
Mediation. We can mediate your problem today. Protection.
You need your money, you need it now. We'll go find them, smack them around. Nobody's got to know a thing.
That's Paulie and Paul's Intervention, Mediation, and Protection Services, also known as PIMP. Welcome back. What a commercial. What a segment. Now we're back for segment number 2 with Clyde. What's up, brother?
Not a lot, brother. I'm sitting here having nightmares while I'm awake listening to those two gentlemen.
Oh, Paul and Paulie. Yeah, man. Them guys are they're pretty serious about their business, brother.
Yeah, they might be a little shifty. I'm not really sure. I hope they don't hear this and come looking for me.
Yeah, well, they do have the address here. Actually, they actually recorded that commercial in our studio.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we signed them on, dude.
We could be in trouble. We might want to get a restraining order.
Well, I was taking my neighbor, the funniest thing happened. I was taking my neighbor down to meet with his probation officer, and the kindest gentlemen were sitting there in the office, dude, named Paul and Paulie, and they talked me into letting them do that ad, so there we go, brother.
Those guys.
You ready to hop back into the news, brother?
Yes, sir. Been talking about these maniacs.
Yeah, evidently, speaking of like some craziness here, brother, former WWE superstar is preparing for a can't-miss MMA fight. Have you heard that news, brother?
Yes, sir, I have.
And what do you think about this? Here it is. Jennifer Decker recently sat down with Wrestling Inc. and touched on a number of topics. Jennifer currently works alongside former WWE star Alberto Del Rio for Combates America's MMA promotion. Decker teased that Del Rio's return to MMA will be a can't miss. And Del Rio holds a professional record, actually, of 9-5 in mixed martial arts. And have you heard who his opponent might be, brother?
Is it Mr. Tito Ortiz? That's what I believe I heard.
That is the news I was seeing late last night break across the internet, brother. So that's unconfirmed at this point. But what do you think? Wouldn't that would be a mega MMA match, man?
Yeah, I would definitely watch it, and I'm not even really a fan. But anytime anybody from the world of pro wrestling is involved, I usually try to check it out, even if it's later on YouTube for free or something like that. But it'll be interesting. I'll be pulling for Alberto, but with that said, I wouldn't really put money on it, though.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I'll be pulling for Alberto also, dude. But man, I say this, Tito, I kind of thought he was done in that like MMA arena, dude. Like I, kind of figured he was done fighting at least. And I think like last year or so, he had a fight, man. He demolished somebody, dude. And he actually looked pretty fresh and kind of bouncy on his feet, man. And if he's squaring up against a guy, similar age, I think Alberto's in his early 40s also. I don't think necessarily you want to see Tito or Alberto go out there and fight some stud in their early 20s or anything. Just no offense to either one of them guys, but I think Tito and Alberto together could put on a great match, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out, man. Like I said earlier, anytime somebody from pro wrestling's involved, I always like to check it out. I think Jack Swagger was the last one I watched, and thank God he won, because I cannot stand to watch a professional wrestler lose to an MMA fighter. I just can't stand it.
Yeah, well, win or lose, a lot of them just, they've all looked pretty decent. I guess, unfortunately, Punk's probably looked the worst at all of them, but Shinsuke used to fight professionally, and Alberto Del Rio, and of course you got CM Punk and Jack Swagger, Brock Lesnar. I mean, what if all these guys separate and start their own, like former wrestling MMA? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got Bobby Lashley, Batista,
man.
Just to name a few, man.
Yeah, you got Ken Shamrock. No, I don't know if he'd be good.
Yeah, hey, Ken Shamrock was kind of, he was the original guy to go from UFC to WWF at the time back in the day. I believe he was the first to make that transition.
Yeah, he might have been, brother, and if anybody would know, it would be you, so I'll definitely take your word on that, man.
Yeah, he was good at both, man. I enjoyed his time in the WWF too. He was another one that was underutilized, I believe, a little bit.
Man, speaking of underutilized, dude, this is flashing again, dude. Our call-in line is flashing and lighting up again, brother. You think we should go ahead and do it?
Might as well pull the trigger.
All right, let's take this call, brother. And yeah, Clyde, I know I said last time after Nikita Volkov called in that we wasn't going to take any more phone calls on the show, brother. But I've got a little better feeling this time, and I see the caller line lighting up, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one, brother. Here we go. Caller, are you on the air?
What's going on, little dude? This is Hulk Hogan, brother. How you doing, man?
Oh, my goodness. Hulk Hogan, a living legend, is actually kind enough to join us on the show. How are you today, brother?
Man, let me tell you what, man. I'm doing fantastic, man. The Hulkster, man, I've been working out, man. I've been saying my prayers, eating my vitamins, and listening to your show every day, brother. I'm a huge fan, man.
Oh, wow. Dude, Clyde, I think we have found it, brother. I need to, like, cue some special music here or something. Have we found a fan of the show? Hulk Hogan, are you saying you're a fan of That Wrestling Podcast?
I am saying that I'm a huge fan of what, brother? What did you say?
That Wrestling Podcast?
Oh, dude, I thought this was like What Culture Wrestling, man. I thought this was like Simon, man.
Oh, man. Okay. All right, Hulkster. We're going to have to roll on that note, brother. Yeah, Clyde, so we're still searching for that fan.
Yeah, man, I thought we had it right there. I mean, what a coup that would have been. I mean, it don't get too much bigger than the Hulkster, brother.
Yeah, brother, that would have been cool, man. We could have had all kinds of, like, endorsements, and, oh, man, like, the future could have been endless there, dude. But, yeah, he had the wrong show, evidently, dude. So we ought to keep it moving with the news, brother. You ready to hop into this?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I've got this topic I've been wanting to touch on with you all weekend ever since I seen this news break, dude. And, you know, I know you're a huge fan of, like, you know, talking about the past and, like, you know, speculating on lists and things like that. So what better topic to talk about this than now than Kurt Angle revealed who he has as the greatest WWE superstar of all time over the weekend. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did read that. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah, Kurt took to Instagram to wish John Cena a belated 42nd birthday, and the Olympic gold medalists recalled their time together and even called Cena the greatest WWE superstar of all time, brother. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I got unbelievable respect for John Cena, so I wouldn't argue it. You know, I said that's definitely fair. It was 17 years, and it feels like if he came back and turned heel tonight, he would be right back as the biggest star, so... Yeah, Kurt's got a good point there, and I know he's got a lot of respect for Cena. I even seen he said he had respect for him the first time they locked horns when Cena was just a rookie.
Yeah, I did see that, man, and, you know, it's crazy how fast time goes. Like you said, 17 years, brother, that Cena's been out there, you know, grinding away at it, dude, and, you know, you really can't argue with him. I know there's a lot of people out there that hate Cena, man, but you really can't argue with anybody that says that, man. And I remember watching an interview with Vince recently, how he was talking about the last person he thought to really reach for the brass ring, and that's his exact words he used, was John Cena. And I think what he means by that is sometimes you just see so much petty stuff going on backstage and so much bickering and stuff like that, and Cena just always seems so focused. He had his eye on the prize. He's a consummate professional. Every single thing he says is just like textbook, like what you would want somebody to say. Like his responses are almost robotic. I know they are, but the guy is that intelligent, dude. He knows how. He's that articulate. He almost reminds me of really, and I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan, but he's like the WWE's Tom Brady, dude. He's always well spoken. He's always got the right words to say at the right time, brother. And he doesn't even have the scandals and baggage that Brady has, brother. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think he's definitely a Mount Rushmore type of talent, man. I was lucky to meet him one time. Couldn't have been a nicer gentleman, and he is just a shining light for professional wrestling, man.
Yeah, well said, dude. And I kind of see why they gave him that last title run. What did it do? Did it tie or break Ric Flair's record?
I believe he's tied. I would like to see him come back as a heel and maybe have one nice run and maybe break the record. He's definitely earned it. That's
what I was saying. I would think that he's kind of earned that at this point, dude. And that's, you know, no offense to Ric Flair. I'm just saying just from everything that Cena's done also. And I love Ric Flair. Heck, I might have him even as the greatest of all time personally, dude. But, you know, I'm still not going to hate, and I can step back and, you know, get a clear perspective on the whole picture, dude, and to see it all. And, yeah, it would be kind of nice to see, brother.
Yeah, to quote Roddy Piper, the honest man will tell you Ric Flair's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, man, yeah, well, it's kind of hard to argue with that, brother. It really is hard to argue with that, dude. When you go back and just watch his matches, dude, and the charisma and the bumps he would take. I even saw Ric Flair up in his 50s, man, doing some astonishing, taking some hellacious bumps in the ring, brother, and selling damage like no other, dude.
Yeah, a true legend. That word gets thrown around so much, but Ric Flair, man, that's about as legendary as you can get in wrestling.
Yeah, it sure is, brother. But back to Cena real quick. I just want to read to you the Instagram post by Angle before we hop out and take another real quick commercial break. But it's 17 years ago today. 17 years ago, I recall when a young John Cena took WWE by storm, Angle wrote. Even then, John pushed me to my limit. I absolutely love stepping in the ring with him. John has been able to stay healthy for the most part and dominate the WWE for 17 years, which is unheard of and nearly impossible. For that reason, he will go down in history as the most consistent and the greatest WWE superstar of all time. Happy belated birthday, John. You earned my respect the first time we locked horns.
There you have it.
Well said, though, by Kurt, man. I mean, wow. Consummate professional there, too, Kurt Angle, man. His words are always, I hold his words in high regard, brother.
Yeah, I love Kurt Angle, man. My dream match of all time that could, it's never going to happen would be Kurt Angle versus Bret the Hitman Hart in an hour-long match. Probably be an amazing match.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man, talk about a match, bro. That would be an amazing match, man. But speaking of something amazing, I actually think we've got a couple of amazing commercials to play real quick, man. We're going to hop out, and then we'll be right back to play a little random wrestling knowledge with Clyde and close the show out, brother. You ready to do this?
Sounds good, brother.
All right, yeah, we'll be right back after these commercial messages. The following is a paid advertisement for Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. That wrestling podcast is not responsible for any products in this ad.
Do you suffer from ACE, also known as atypical constant ejaculation? Well, you are not alone. And now, thanks to the Scrotal Treatment Center of America's patented new Semenese technology, you can get your problem taken care of. It's a series of 3 invasive laser-guided injections that'll have you up and running in no time. That's the Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. Not only am I a spokesman, but I'm a client.
Yeah! Welcome back. What a show, what a segment, what an ad. What do you think about that, Clyde?
Yeah, I need to check in with some of that, man. I need to try to get my scrotum game right,
Yeah, especially if you're suffering from that ACE, man, that atypical constant ejaculation, dude. That just sounds like a horrible, I'm just glad that there's hope for people out there. That's all, brother.
Yeah, I mean, anybody listening, know you're not alone. There's a lot of folks like you. I'm one myself.
There you go, brother. Yeah, man. Well said. I'm just glad that you're able to share that, on the air publicly. Just put it out there like that, brother. And before we move on, I just want to take a second to pat you on the back there and let you know, man, that it took a lot of courage, man.
I appreciate your vote of confidence there, friend.
And speaking of a lot of courage, before we close the show out with these, evidently they leaked the results of both of the Money in the Bank ladder matches. And before we close the show out with that, brother, I want to play the most courageous segment of the day, because I know it takes you some big cojones to step up and play this one every single day, brother. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Are you ready, brother?
I'm ready to go.
Let's play a little bit of Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde. All right, brother. Yeah, audience, feel free to play along at home. Every day we ask Clyde 3 random wrestling-related questions, and they're literally coming from out of nowhere. So let's get started, brother. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Question number one, baby. Hot and fresh out the skillet. Where did Junkyard Dog play college football?
Junkyard Dog. I'm going to say Junkyard Dog played at Louisiana Tech. That's my final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me Louisiana Tech. Final answer. And Mr. Producer Man, dude, he's never ready. He's like always picking his nose and smelling his fingers. Oh, no.
LSU.
So close, brother. He actually played at a smaller college, Fayetteville State.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I figured, I was thinking last night when I was getting that question together, I was like, I don't know if he'll get this one or not. I know you're a huge JYD fan. If I asked you his real name, I'm sure you'd have got that. So I wanted to go somewhere a little harder with it, brother, and just take it up another level. I want to see how deep your JYD knowledge ran, brother.
Real name, Sylvester Ritter. That's his real name.
See, I knew you would just reel that one right off the top of your head, dude. I got to stump you, dude. My job is to stump. You are truly a wrestling historian, brother. You know a lot, man. Way more than your average bear. All right, before I praise you all damn day, let's hop into question number 2. Where did Kevin Nash play college basketball?
At the University of Tennessee. Final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me the University of Tennessee. Well done, man. Yeah, like you can't hear we have an in-studio audience, and they're sitting behind a glass like window here. You can't hear them, but they're all applauding for you right now, brother.
I appreciate that from our audience, brother.
Yeah, every week, then my grandma, she brings everybody down from the neighborhood house in the community center van, and they come down and watch the show on Mondays live.
You gotta get in where you fit in, bro.
Yeah, they love it, dude. They love it. That's the only day I get to eat.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, brother. Question number 3, coming at you, fast and furious, brother. This might be a tough one for you. What year did Matt Hardy make his Raw debut? What year was that?
Matt Hardy Raw debut, I'm gonna say 1995. That's my final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 1995. Final answer. Oh,
Santa Maria.
Dude, I got to give you huge props because I would have been way off on this one. You was extremely close. It was actually, on July 11th, 1994 in a loss to Crush.
Yeah, I knew it was very, very early. They were kind of, nameless, basically. I mean, they had names, but nobody knew really who they was.
Yeah, there was. I was reading them. Yeah, early on they was jobbers. For the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to start somewhere, brother.
Talk about building a brand, baby. Yeah, I mean that's the way you got to do it, man. It was cool. It's cool actually when you read about the Hardys, man. How they started was like the Extreme Trampoline Wrestling or something like that when they were younger, and that really kind of catapulted their career, dude.
Yeah, those guys, man, they're amazing. They're still rolling strong.
Yeah, still rolling strong. And speaking of rolling strong, man, we got to keep rolling strong with the show today, brother. You want to go ahead and close it out with these thoughts on these Money in the Bank ladder matches for this upcoming pay-per-view?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you see over the weekend that the news was revealed, like, via some ads on local television in Connecticut, like, the participants, and this is just rumored. I know they can change it. They're going to officially announce them, I believe, tonight. But, do you kind of want to go over some of these participants that we see here?
Yeah, shoot them out there, bro.
So for the women's match, it's looking as if it's going to be they released this graphic here on the television ad. It looks as if we have Tamina, Sasha Banks, Natalya, Naomi, Bayley, Carmella, Ember Moon, and Sonya Deville. What do you think, man? Who would you like to see come out on top? Do you like the card? Thoughts, brother? I got to know the rundown.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting match. I'm going to have to go with Sonya Deville. I see unbelievable talent in her. Man, I just enjoy everything she does, and I'd like to see her get it, man, and cash it in on somebody real quick.
Yeah, I like what she does too out there in the ring, man. She looks, like you said, she's a believable champion also. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, she looks tough as nails, bro.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. Yeah, and really, dude, I think it's personally, if it's not going to be Sonya, then why not Ember Moon, dude? I think her time is here to shine, brother. And talk about a phenomenal athlete, man. She does some things out there in the ring. She almost reminds me of like a blend between like a Naomi and I don't even know who else to put her with, man. But she just has so much athleticism and so much talent, brother. And I feel like given the proper light, she could shine, dude.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the She-Nom. One thing I seen her do, man, she gave I believe her finishing move is called the Eclipse. I seen her hit that on Mickie James, man, and Mickie James should have got like a award for selling it. It was just unbelievable.
Sold it good, huh? Did she sell it as good as Rock used to sell that stunner?
I tell you what, it was close, man. Sometimes when The Rock would do it, it was almost cartoonish.
That's what made it funny, dude. That's what I like. Best sales of all time, dude. We got to cover that one day, dude. If what you say is that good, I'm gonna go back and check that out. I do not recall seeing that, but I'm gonna go back and check it out, man. Mickie James selling the Eclipse, brother.
Yeah, I believe it was on I want to say it was an episode of Raw, but it really stood out. I mean, it looked like she was ejected from a car or something. It was amazing. And I am a big fan of the She-Nom, too. Any of those gals, man, it would be interesting to see.
Looking like a crash test dummy. Oh, yeah, I'm not like knocking any of the girls in the match. It's just our job, brother. It's just what we do here on the show every day, day in and day out, brother. We take vitamins, we say our prayers, and we speculate on wrestling, man.
You gotta pick them, brother. You gotta pick them.
Yeah, I don't think we see Carmella win again. Do you?
Lord, I hope not. And that's no knock on her. It feels like she already had the briefcase, but who knows? She is coming off the Battle Royal win at WrestleMania.
And what I find most interesting about this graphic, really more than anything, is the fact that, and I know this is just tentatively announced. This doesn't mean anything set in stone until tonight. But Sasha Banks is in the graphic, man. And, the rumor is she's kind of on the outs with the company right now. She hadn't been on the show since, WrestleMania. I mean, do you think she's going to be announced for the match tonight, brother?
Well, I tell you, if everything we've heard about Sasha is true, her being so upset in WWE, going into panic mode, trying to please her, look for her to probably win this thing.
Wow. Yeah, wouldn't that be huge? Yeah, to kind of give her something to kind of pacify her, maybe to kind of, or not even necessarily pacify, but just to show their appreciation for her, like, hey, you are appreciated, you're a huge part of what we do around here type thing. Yeah,
and we was talking about that Ember Moon and Mickie James, man. Speaking of selling, Sasha Banks, one of the greatest sellers of moves I've ever seen. There's been a few times when I thought this girl's career was over, and then she got up. I'm like, oh my God, she makes everything look so good.
She does, man, because she's so tiny. What is she, maybe 100 pounds, dude? And she sells that damage so good, man. Yeah, Sasha Banks, huge asset to WWE. Hopefully they can keep her around, brother.
Yeah, I would like to see that, man. She is a true superstar.
And so, really, I want to hop into this one too, man. Before we hop out for today, this 2019 men's Money in the Bank ladder match participants have been leaked, also. And what do you think about that? Did you see the graphic over the weekend for that one?
Yeah, I did, and one of our listeners, our friends, I believe, put up a thing about that. And who do you think? I believe it was Niblum. I'm Team Ricochet, man. Our local Kentucky boy here.
Oh yeah, it would be cool to see Ricochet win, man. But I'll say this, and no offense to Ricochet, man. Here's who I was on the graphic. Let me say that real quick. And none of this is set in stone, of course, till tonight when we hear it on a moment of bliss on the special segment, which we're all waiting on the edge of our seats for. But until then, brother, here's the here's what we have to speculate with. We got Drew McIntyre, Cesaro, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Andrade, and Lars Sullivan as the possible participants. And I'll say this, dude. Out of all those guys, man, I think Andrade's been cutting his teeth long enough, dude, and I'm ready to see this guy shine, man. Really a phenomenal five-tool athlete. Not so much on the mic, dude. He can't go on the mic, but as long as he's got what's her name, Vega out there with him, dude, he's fine. And Andrade can go, man. I would like to see this guy kind of have a little light shown on his talent and kind of show the world what he can do, brother. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I can get behind that, man. Him with Selena Vega is the perfect addition for him because he does have a little problems with the promo, but wrestling skill, this dude's hitting on all the cylinders. He's got the look, he looks good, and he's super skilled. I could get behind that, man, and I think if that happens, we could see a lot of the fans start to get behind this gentleman.
I think so too, man. And the thing I say about Andrade, man, what's cool about him, really, dude, and there's not a lot of guys like this on the roster. He's big enough to wrestle the big guys believably, but also, man, like he has the skill and like the wrestling acumen to go, man. Like he can do some of these moves that like the Luchas and the 205 Live guys can do, and he's probably what 6'3", 6'4", and 240, 250 pounds, Yeah,
he's a good sized gentleman, man. Yeah, I could get behind that, brother. That would be interesting for sure.
And a couple of gentlemen who I would be surprised if either one of these guys won this match. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this also. But, I kind of feel like they're just thrown into the match just because they're spectacular performers. I would have no problem with either one of these gentlemen being champion. I just don't see the WWE going in that direction. But Cesaro and Rey Mysterio, what are your thoughts about these gentlemen in the match? And do you think there's a chance that either one of them go over?
Unfortunately, I don't see either one of them. I would be okay with being wrong. Especially with Cesaro, man. We was talking about doing maybe an episode of underrated wrestlers. Cesaro would be right at the top of my list. I'm just a huge fan of the Swiss Superman, man. I feel like he could have been a main eventer 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I do too, man. I kind of feel like they've kind of missed the window with Cesaro, brother.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy, speaking like we was talking about AEW, he's the kind of guy I could see them snatching up and doing right with real quick.
Oh, man, he's got the talent to be a champion, dude. And I know, it just sucks because, there's only so many belts to go around. And the last thing in the world I'm advocating for is another belt for WWE. I personally feel like they have enough of them, but, I just would like to see Cesaro have his time, brother. Like you said, we've seen Brock Lesnar carry around this damn Universal title for basically the last 3 years, man. And, why not have given it to a guy like Cesaro at some point during that time, man? The guy can go, and I think Vince would worry about, like, putting asses in the stands, brother. But, you let these guys be seen in the ring, man, and the way they can go, man. I don't think it's even an argument that Cesaro can go better than Brock in the ring.
Yeah, Cesaro's got John Wayne cool, man, all over him. I just love him. Big fan.
I don't know why. He just comes off. He just reminds me of. He's got that cool, smooth Jason Statham-esque like vibe,
Yeah, he really does. He looks like a bigger version of him, basically.
Yeah, he looks like he could it's like seriously, like in real life, if they was transporting shit, like that's who they would really call instead of Jason Statham. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, I missed the day. I don't know if you recall this when he used to come out with a suit. I thought that was cool, man, because, the guy looks good in his suit and his wrestling skills. He's another one that's on a 10, I believe, with his wrestling ability.
Yeah, well said, dude. And I think his age is getting up there, though. I believe he's not old, but he's in his late 30s, approaching 40, dude. So if they're going to do something big with him, maybe this would be their chance to do it right here.
Yeah, I can get behind it. Big fan of Cesaro.
Yeah, brother, and I'm a big fan of everything that you say, dude. Like, every day you come in dropping knowledge, brother, dropping truth bombs, man. And so I appreciate you joining us on the show, man. You're live on the radio with Dave, hitting you in the face with the D. It's Clyde, baby. Yeah, man.
By God.
I love having you on here, brother, every day, man. And I know we have a good time on the show every day. We could go on all day, brother. But I think it's about time to wrap it up and put a bow on today's episode, brother. You ready?
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me. Everybody out there that's listening, do us a favor if you can, hit the like button. Even better, hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell anybody, tell a wrestler. And if you don't like us, let us know that too. Maybe we can have you on or get better, and hit us with that King Kong Bundy splash for the 5 count, and we will be sharing this podcast as we always do on our Facebook affiliate pages. Bliss Army, Becky Lynch Mob, Hitman Hart Fan Club, Kofi Kingston Club, I Heart Pro Wrestling, Carlitos Caribbean Cool Fan Club. Wrestling is our passion. Wrestling Unleashed. All Access Indie Wrestling, WWF LJ and Maniacs, or now it's just LJ and Maniacs. All Elite Wrestling. Let's get rowdy with it. Wicked Thoughts, Music for Thoughts, and last but certainly not least, one of my favorites, WWE Retro Figure Fan Club.
Ooh, yeah, well said, brother. I appreciate you having that list ready every day, Clyde, because I know you don't do a damn bit of preparation, brother, but for you having that list ready, you've just made my list, baby. So thank you very much. And people out there listening, check us out on the web at thatwrestlingpodcast.com. It's open 24/7, always updated with the freshest and latest news. And also, if you like us, put us over. If you don't like us, let us know. We'll do a job for you on your show. That's the way we roll right here on That Wrestling Podcast. And having said that, we will catch you guys on the next one.
Woo!
Ooh, yeah.
Carlito Caribbean Cool.
And you can't teach that.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the champ, Cocky Balboa. Come on down and see us at Cocky Balboa and the Honky Tonk Boys House of Salvage. We got everything. We got something to put a little lead in your pencil and something to put a little fire in the oven. We got children's toys, baby clothes, Easter baskets, lawn furniture, tools. You tell them, Honk.
We got broken guitars, we got working guitars. We got illegal animals and fake IDs, baby.
That's right, baby. You come on down and see us. That's the Cocky Balboa and the Honky Tonk Boys House of Salvage, baby, at the corner of 4th and Cedar in Brooklyn.